Oh, thank you, Mike. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is here. Hello, Frankie. Hello, Mike. I hope I'm live here. I'm glad you like it, Mike. I knew you probably would. That's why it took a little longer. I had found that. And I thought, hey, I know that you love Olaf and everything like that. Hello, Mar Blankenship, or Mar, Frankie, Mike Wheeler. um, yeah, I'm just going live there. I wasn't sure, like, later if I would be able to stay up enough. Been doing pretty good, but just kind of a little busy, but other than that, been doing okay. Have a crazy cough, so but it's like a mixture of things because I've been dealing with a cough that has an issue with a lot of different stuff. So not only like with the cold weather and stuff, but allergy stuff and all that good stuff. So, but I've been doing pretty good. How is everybody doing this evening? um, so tonight, yes, 'tis the season to be sick. Yes, that's the thing there. Um, One of the things that I had seen, thank you, Frankie. Yeah, the cough is kind of driving me nuts, but it also is a mixture of different things. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. Um, One of the things that I had found was a from Russ Stapleton. He did a little tag. I'm not going to tag anybody, but if anybody wants to do it, I can provide you the link that that Russ Stapleton had in his on one of his shows. Yes, Pittsburgh area. One week it's like ice cold. The next week is rainy. Today was a little off and on rain with warmer temperatures, but not warm, but enough to be feeling warm. Yeah, I hope you feel better, Pam. And hopefully you get the abscess tooth take care of also. So sorry to hear that. But it's Disney 20 questions for 2020. Like I said, I'll once I do a description later, I'll put it down in the description. I'll also Russ Stapleton did um, the tag, and I can actually put the tag in the link or in the chat here. The link in the chat that'll tell you um, where to find. He'll have the questions because he actually has them in his description. So I'll go ahead and put that link in there. But it's from Russ Stapleton, and this is the his video that he did. He did a premiere with the questions that I'm going to use this evening. Sorry, I'm just wanting to get back to the questions because I had changed it off. But that's the link for Russ's premiere that he did. And you can also watch it and give him support. Russ did my logo, so I do thank him very much. I was looking for people to do a logo and everything like that. Also, yes, you'll need some antibiotics, Pam, definitely. Also in the news of Disney, I see they're gonna actually do a gold tone, it looks like, on the castle for the 50th anniversary. So it actually looks a lot. I know a lot of people. I was there for the 25th anniversary. Seen the pink castle with the cake castle. For me, it didn't bother me because I have seen the castle regularly before that event. So I thought it was kind of whimsical, cute. and stuff, but I could understand if you were on your first trip to Disney and you go in and it's a pink castle. But yes, the gold overtone castle from the pictures I've seen, it looks like it's going to be very nice looking and everything like that. So that'll be, wonder if there will be a reflection from the gold. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. It looks really nice. In fact, I meant to bring out my little statue of the cake castle because I bought that during the 25th anniversary time period. I was just wondering, maybe Mike Wheeler might know or not. Will they start the 50th anniversary celebration on October 1st and go all the way around to 2021 October, or will they start it sooner? Do you know, Mike, or have an idea? Because I couldn't remember. I know I went in the summertime during the 25th anniversary, and that was even before October. So, and I can't remember if it was before or after, but it was during the 25th anniversary. So I'm guessing it was probably after the celebration started. Of the 100 Years of Magic Castle, yeah. But I didn't know if they would. Yeah, I remember that starting a little bit earlier because my brother and his family, I believe that is their plan for starting the 50th year. Okay. I know my younger brother and his family were out at Disneyland and stuff right before the 60th anniversary. They didn't have a lot of the official merchandise out, but there were some merchandise out. And he actually brought me back a pin that he had seen. Hello, hello, Mr. Fulton. What type of news do you have today? But yeah, it'll be interesting. I do plan on going sometime during the 50th anniversary time. Probably not when it actually starts. It would be fun to be there for the actual opening and stuff, but schedule wise and stuff, I don't think I could wait that long for that. So yes, they are going with the tradition of gold. Yes, the 50th anniversary there. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Good, Mr. Fulton. Congratulations on that. but but yeah, I do plan on going during the 2021 season or after the 50th anniversary during the celebration, whether it starts October 1st, 2021. So I'll go sometime after that, or maybe in 2022 if they're still celebrating that for the year. So, plus, then that'll give a chance to get some of the bugs out of some of the. Okay, Mike, no problem. Um, get some of the bugs out of the kinks on Tron and the Guardian of the Galaxy Rewind ride and everything like that. But we'll go ahead and start my 20 Disney 20 questions for 2020. I know Jim and More Sunshine Please goes on at 7:30, so please join him at 7:30. And then Mouse Talk does their Dissanity at 8 p.m. So you got at least some YouTubing and different programs to watch this evening. So go ahead and join them later. And I'll go through as many questions as I can. Whenever I don't finish within the 45 minutes here, I will go ahead. Yes, it is a busy day. I will finish them at another stream. Now I want to kind of mix it up a little. I know I go different nights. Just trying to find a time where if people like to play trivia and it's not on certain nights, late nights, seem to pick up a few different people. And so I'm playing around with different nights. I know, like the Orlando guy, a lot of times in late nights on a Friday or something would be good. I know Resort TV 1 does their Friday night live, but with the parks closing kind of early, I usually can go a little right after them. But we'll go ahead and start the questions. The first question is your most anticipated new ride, attraction, or show coming in 2020. For me, okay, that's no problem, Mark. Yeah, I've been trying to be more diligent of scheduling my type of stuff, so different shows. It says in 2020. I know Tron's an anticipated ride, but since it's not going to open up in 2020, I'm going to probably say I know Ratatouille is one of them. It's probably my most anticipated ride. My niece got to ride it in Paris and said it's incredible. I know I'm curious to see what Mickey's Runaway Railway will end up being. So, and that opens sooner in March. So I'll get a chance to ride it hopefully when I go down in April. So I'm curious to see how that all ends up, especially someone who has been on the Great Movie Ride since the park opened back in 1989. So that's pretty exciting there. Good evening, Dances with Goofy Adventures. Good evening, Frankie. I don't know if I said hi to you before. But your most anticipated new ride, attraction, or show coming in 2020 is the Ratatouille ride and then also the Mickey's Runaway Railway. I'm more curious to see how it ends up being inside the old Chinese theater or how that all is going to play out there. I'm not crazy about the animation of the newer animation of the characters, but we'll see. I'm sure it's going to be hopefully a little fun ride there. It'll certainly be busy, especially if you can bring your kids and stuff along. So a family ride. The next question: your most anticipated Disney movie planned for release in 2020. Yeah, that's kind of hard right now because I see the different previews and stuff. Right now, I know Onward's is kind of one that I am waiting for. I haven't paid attention to see what else is coming out later this year. So, so that one's kind of hard. I know Onward, I'm kind of interested in. It looks kind of cute and interesting. There's a couple other ones that I'd seen in previews, but I can't really remember the names. I know Soul is supposed to come out. So we'll see about with the movies. Yes, The Mandalorian, when that comes, re-releases back out on Disney Plus, the series. So that'll also be anticipated. Okay, Pam, no problem. Thank you for joining. Hope you feel better. Something named number 3 is something at Disney you have never done but want to do in 2020. Something at Disney you never done but want to do in 2020. For me, I'm actually signed up to do it. I've always wanted to do one of the Run Disney races. I actually signed up for the Star Wars 5K race. That'll be my first time doing a Run Disney ride, I'm sorry. And I'm also going to be running with Give Kids the World. So So I had already signed up for the 5K, and then I saw they still had openings to join their team. I feel it's a good cause. When I was a cast member back in the early 90s, that I've learned about the place. I've known about it for many years, and it's great to see a lot of people in this Disney community supporting Give Kids the World, because it is an awesome place. So if you ever get a chance, check out their website. Um, if you're into volunteerism, especially if you're in that area or close to that area, or even if you're going to be down there longer than a week, you might want to check it out. I'm not sure if I'll even make it to WW in 2020. I don't buy lottery tickets. Nah, I don't buy the lottery tickets either. So um, that's a thing for me. Once the end of June hits, I will have to make a decision what I'm going to do with my annual pass, whether I'll renew or not. I probably will, just because wanting to go back in 2021. So, and it's still a little bit of a discount, renewing versus paying in full later. Hello, Noah. Thank you for joining. Hello, Justo Sir Blandine. Hello. Yes, they keep bumping it higher and higher. I know last year I was getting ready to buy my annual pass, because I was definitely going at the end of June with my sister and her family. And I was anticipating going during the 30th anniversary of Hollywood Studios. And I was getting ready to buy my ticket, and I thought, oh, I'll wait one more day. And of course, they did it overnight. But I got a tip from someone that I was able to get it at the same price before the price hike. So so I got lucky, but I ended up using it, cashing it in at the end of June when I was on vacation with my sister and her family. When I usually vacation with them, we do other Orlando parks, because we do stay off site at their timeshare places. And so we kind of vacation a little bit differently. We like to hit up some of the other parks and Orlando attractions. So it's not all about Disney. It is tough for me at times to not be at Disney. I did get over there 4 times while we were there, but we did do Universal and SeaWorld this time around. So and I still need to get back to Universal to ride Hagrid's, since I got to ride all the other Harry Potter rides. And we were there when it first opened, and of course, it became a nightmare for Universal at the time, with all the big lines and then them delaying opening and everything. Hello, Russ Stapleton. Thank you for joining. Oh, yes, Russ, I really like it whenever there are different questions like that, because then it kind of gives you a topic and everything. Hello, Timothy Rainwaters. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. But the one thing I've never done at Disney is the Run Disney. I will be doing it April on the Star Wars 5K, and then I'll be vacationing until the following Wednesday. So that'll be not well. You probably missed Noah's trivia, but you didn't miss it on mine, because right now I am doing 20 questions of 2020 at Disney. Number 4. Plus, for me, also is to maybe do a little more tours, although I've done tours at Disney. There's a couple of them that I've never done yet, so that's on my bucket list. When you've been there so many times, everything, it's always nice to nice to try other things and do stuff. I'm actually going April 16th through the 22nd, I think, to the following Wednesday. And I know Angela of This Our Dreams will be there. I know Lena, Paper Scissors, Vacations Oh My will be down there. I know Steve's World's going to be down there. Um, and I think there's a few other people. Unfortunately, since the race is Friday, I have to at least get in there on Thursday, but um, I can't go any earlier or stay any later because of other vacation plans, or I would stay until the following weekend. Okay, so I will just miss you then, Frankie. I may come in late on the 15th. It all just depends on airline and scheduling and everything like that. So the funny thing is, I already have my trip home from Orlando for that day because it was super cheap the day that I booked. But but my trip down I haven't gotten yet, which I better start doing before it really gets jacked up or the price. Okay, something you always do at Disney and as a must do again in 2020. Oh, that's kind of a tough question because there's a lot of things I always seem to do. I don't really have a annual tradition. I know, like when people get there, yeah, eat Dole Whip. That would be a good one. Um, I don't. Oh, okay, Russ. What day are you arriving, Russ? That's the other thing. I got to get my type of thing, my confirmation number for my room into my Disney experience, so I could start doing the fast passes. Usually, when you're with yourself or whatever, it's a lot easier sometimes. And I know there's certain rides that yeah, I'd like to try and ride, and then other ones I've done so many times. Um, I would say for me, one of the things I don't really have like traditions like on the first day. I mean, usually when I get there, hopefully my room's ready. I put my luggage down, and it just depends. Oh, okay, okay, Russ. I'll be there till April 22nd, I believe. But it's usually I play bus roulette or well, a lot of my last trips have been last minute trips, and there's times I'm on Magical Express trying to book a fast pass, and wherever I get a fast pass um, for something that's something I want to ride or do, that's the park I end up at, or wherever if I need a meal, if I have the meal plan or whatever. So, and my last couple trips, and when I'm talking last minute, it's either the night before or 2 days before I leave. So, so that's been the type of thing. And I guess one of the things that I'll get to do this time around, since my trip is planned, is actually use my yellow tags on the Magical Express. Yes, I will be, Josh. But probably the must do is Rice Krispie treats and Dole Whip. Hello, Candy Mom 15. Thank you for joining. One time of the year you would never go to the parks in 2020. Um, one time of the year you would never go to the parks in 2020. Um, we're already past probably January for me. That's a little too soon unless I knew friends or somebody come. It's hard to say because I've been at all times of the year. Summer, yeah, it's hot, but sometimes I like the summer because I can enjoy the pool a little more. That's one of the things that I don't really do a lot at Disney is enjoy the pools as much. Um, so it's kind of hard to say what time of the year. Hello, ATGB143. Thank you for joining. But because I've been all the different times. Okay, Mike, no problem. In 30 minutes, Jim and More Sunshine, please. Will be on at 7:30. If you could only visit one park in 2020, which one would it be? That's a tough one because I would probably say I won't go on March 35th, yes. Um, if I could only visit one, and if I was able to get the Rise of the Resistance boarding pass, it would have to be Hollywood Studios. A lot of the rides I do enjoy, like Slinky Dog Dash. I love the Tower of Terror. Plus, with Mickey's Runaway Railway, the Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, that would keep me busy most of the day at Hollywood Studios. The Magic Kingdom would be a close second, just because that's more nostalgic. I do enjoy Epcot. I guess if I was just there for a day and there was a festival or something going on and I wanted to see that, that would probably be one of the parks. So it is a kind of a tough question, but if I could only have to visit one park and I could definitely get the boarding passes, that's probably where I would end up, as a Hollywood Studios. And if I had a hopper while I was waiting for my boarding pass, I would probably hop over to Epcot. If you could only stay at one resort in 2020, which one would it be? That's another hard one because I do like all the resorts. I've okay, Frankie, that's a good one. I'm visiting for the Flower and Garden Festival. I've been there during the Flower and Garden Festival, but not since they've added the food booths. I think they've only started those food booths maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe. And if it started later than that, boy, time flew, because when I used to go at that time of the year, they didn't have the food booths, but they had other like workshops and different like flower and garden type of booths and things like that. But but I didn't think the food booths really started maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But I could be wrong. I mean, time flew if it started sooner than that, because it's hard to keep track of all the types of things. Because the only one that I always remember that food was offered was the Food and Wine Festival. I would probably have to say the Polynesian probably would be the resort. It's in a great location. If you didn't have tickets to the park, you have all the transportation. You can go ride the boats, the ferry boats around, take the little ferry boat over to the Magic Kingdom, hop on a ferry boat to the Wilderness Lodge or Fort Wilderness. From the Wilderness Lodge, you can go over to the Contemporary, ride the monorail. So you have a lot of options that you wouldn't even have to go to the park. It has a nice pool. You can watch the fireworks from there. Some tasty restaurants. I would want to stay at Port Orleans. Which side, Mike? Would you stay at Riverside or the French Quarter, or it does not matter? Because one of the things at Port Orleans, Riverside, and probably French Quarter, because you can always go up there, would be yeah, it's Dawn as a choice. Yes, I would say the Riverside, if you wanted to, have time to go see Yeehaw Bob whenever he plays. I think he does Wednesday through Sundays, maybe. I'm not sure of his actual schedule, but I know he's there at least Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday, and I'm not sure what other days during the week that he's at. But that's a great show to go see. I know some of the people have streamed there, and if you haven't seen them, I know Corey Meets World has, and other ones. So it is very nice there. You have the boat to Disney Springs. I want to say Downtown Disney, but yes, doesn't matter whichever one is closest to the beignets. That's the French Quarter. Yes, the beignets are really delicious too. I know the first back in 1994 was the first time we stayed on property, and I actually stayed at three different resorts that year because um, I had to fly in a day earlier than the rest of my family, and we had a package at the beach club. But then our last night, my mom wanted to stay at the Contemporary Resort. But mind you, in 1994, I was paying moderate resort prices for a deluxe resort. So that was a bonus. They had a special at the Polynesian, so my first night I stayed at the Polynesian Resort. Fell in love with the place. It was just so relaxing and tropical. I love the tiki torches that they light at night. It was just relaxing there. Then I went and moved to the beach club with my family once they flew in. We had a great time there. It was nice to walk in through the International Gateway of Epcot. It was a boat ride away to Hollywood Studios, and then, of course, the bus to the Magic Kingdom. And the prices you couldn't beat back then in 1994. They were actually what a moderate resort now on the high end cost. So now you pay pretty much double that type of thing. We could stay a week and a half at the cabins at Fort Wilderness back in the late 90s. Yes, I would agree, Frankie. Yes, I would agree that. And even the All Stars back then were like $50, $60 a night. Let's see. If you could bring back one show or attraction from the past in 2020, what would it be? Yeah. I would say the Hunchback of Notre Dame show. I don't. That was a show that was. Um, it was back in the backlot area behind the Muppets. They used to have a theater back there. I think Pocahontas was there, a Pocahontas show, and then the Hunchback of Notre Dame show was there. That was a great show. I'm trying to think what year that would have been. Because my niece was about 3 years old. She loved the Hunchback of Notre Dame movie, and she heard the music and went running because she heard the Hunchback. It was a great show. I don't know if you remember that show, Mike, or not, but that would be one show that would be great to come back. They had some good people who played on that, and it sat back in the backlot area. Now it's blocked off because of Galaxy's Edge. All that area back there now is Galaxy's Edge. And then I think they changed it to a Pocahontas show, or took out that theater altogether, and then they put Mater and Lightning McQueen's garage back there and everything. One of the other things I would love to see come back, I'm not sure where they could put it, probably on that Grand Avenue, if they could bring back the Singing in the Rain umbrella, because that was great to go stand under there on a hot day. Plus, you got your picture taken, but it was great to go stand there on a hot day and cool yourself off. Oh, okay. Festivals of Fools, yes. For Notre Dame. Yes. If you could decide on one new piece of merchandise that would be sold in the parks in 2020, what would it be? Ooh. Yeah, I remember the Super Soap weekends. My cousin really loved them. And I remember the Star Wars weekends too. Yeah, Tarzan was at the Animal Kingdom. I remember that. And they had a rollerblader guy. I think he actually was killed in some type of accident or something outside of Disney. But I remember the Tarzan show also. Ah, the Super Soap Weekend. Yeah, my cousin used to go to that all the time. And I think Universal kind of picked up their version of that also. Um, I can't really think of any type of new piece of merchandise that would be sold in the parks because they pretty much sell everything these days, from lightsabers to hats to pins to Funko Pops to keychains, magnets, socks, candy. They have all kinds of stuff. So I really can't think of anything that would be new to be sold. If there was one piece of merchandise, but I always wonder, okay, what would I do with it once I got it? Would be to get a lightsaber, but for me, that's kind of a waste of a money because once I got it, it would just be kind of sitting there. Um, and I'm guessing that's what a lot of other people do, or they decorate a room. Yes, I remember the Osborne lights. That's good information, Mike. They used the area for Osborne light storage until the building are condemned, and they redid it. Yes, I want them to sell free merchandise. Yes, Russ. I think the only thing that you can get free is a birthday button or a celebration button. That's pretty much their free merchandise or their maps. But you're paying that with your ticket prices, I guess. Or if you're lucky enough and they're having a celebration, maybe during the 50th anniversary, they'll do something like they did with the million years of dream, the million year dream of years, where you got free Mickey hats or free fast pass lanyard, or some people got to stay at the castle. Okay, Candy Mom, thank you for joining. Yes, please remember to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. That would be much appreciated. Have a good evening, Cynthia. But yeah, that would be great, Russ, if they would be nice if they had some things like that. Okay. If you decide one new land or attraction to open in Disney in 2020, what would it be? I know a lot of people. I think a villain's land would be interesting. Um, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't. I know Pandora looks great at night and everything like that, but I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't do the Beastly Kingdom and the Animal Kingdom. Um, but that would probably like a villain's land would be kind of neat. Because you don't really see them that often. I know. I know. I've heard different chats about and I completely understand that too. It's like, why are they celebrating on Valentine's Day, the villains, or they have the villains nights. To me, when I think of the villains, it's more Halloweenish and stuff. But it would be interesting if they did have a land that they could come up with for them, and you would get to meet them a little more often than just at Halloween or during paying extra. And I don't even know if you get to meet them during the villains thing. I don't think so. The way they do it, I know they put on a show. They added a parade, that after hours party, but that that actually would be fun if they would add more Pixar type of thing. Um, I know they had the Incredibles area back in that little corner type of thing, but to me, that by the time I usually got the Hollywood Studios in the summer, it was already done for the day, so we never really got to meet that. Yes, that's the whole thing, Russ. The villains are pretty much popular. Then that I know. I remember during the Halloween parties. This was back quite a few years. They had a villains party in the castle, but it was actually a lot more money than the thing. But people bought up those tickets at Cinderella's Castle because you actually got to meet like the Queen of Hearts and various other villains. They had that villains party at Hollywood Studios that you could buy. It was like a dessert party or something, and Dr. Facilier and a few other villains were back there. I don't know if that one was as popular, but from whenever I read different things, you got to see the characters. They had food offerings and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, Retro Land would be pretty cool also. Yeah, the Wakanda, that would be a really interesting thing that they've always talked about and everything. Let's see, what question am I on? In 2020, will it be monorail or gondola for you? Um, it would, I would say the Skyliner probably more than the monorail, just because I don't stay at a monorail resort. If I have time to visit them, then I ride the monorail. But I will admit I stay in December at the Pop Century. I barely rode a bus except when I went to the Magic Kingdom for the Christmas party. So to and from the Magic Kingdom to the Christmas party, and to and from Animal Kingdom. The rest of the time, I took the Skyliner. I would ride it over to Hollywood Studios, go from Hollywood Studios over to Epcot, or from my resort to Epcot. So I'm gonna say the gondolas is probably more my thing. I'm planning on Pop Century for April for that very reason. Um, yeah, I kind of think about it, but then you just have to go with it. It's just like, you know, my first time I ever flew, they actually had an airplane go down in New York City at LaGuardia or something, or out on Long Island. The first time I ever was gonna fly, like 2 weeks before I was gonna fly, they had, I think it was like an I know there was students that were going on a international trip to France that were on that flight and stuff. It was back, I would say back in the or like 89 type of year. So yeah, it's pretty smooth. There was a couple times where the weather was going on the cool side and you did feel the wind, but it didn't really get too windy. And I'm suspecting if it does get very windy, they will shut it down. Because I believe that one night that they had tornado like warnings and everything like that. Um, but yeah, it does kind of worry me depending on if something like that would happen again that they had at the Riviera type of thing. Oh, no problem. Hello, Diane Bush. Thank you for joining. But but I could be it can be a little worrisome. I would suggest, they have restrooms at all the stations. Make sure you go to the restroom before you get on the Skyliner, especially if you're going from Caribbean. You transfer at the Caribbean beach is kind of like the hub. So if you're going to the Epcot line, because that is the longest line, make sure you go to the restroom and maybe have a bottle of water or something with you, or I know I carry a bottle of water in my backpack. But I came back and told Angela I never rode the buses, except, well, I did ride the buses, but because the only way you can get to the Magic Kingdom is take a bus, and Animal Kingdom and took a bus. Um, so that's pretty much it. I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it is in the summertime because it was kind of breezy. December was a little bit cooler. I know my brother-in-law and sister, they got to go on the cast member previews, and that was at the end of September where it was still a little warm. And I know they said it got warm when they pulled into like Riviera Station, kind of whenever it was switching, and if it would stop, they didn't feel the air kind of going through there. But most of the time that I was on it, they you could feel the air coming through. And from Pop Century to Caribbean Beach, you're on there, like Mike said, probably less than 5 minutes, about 5 minutes. So, and from Caribbean Beach to Hollywood Studios, it's about the same, but then the Epcot lane's a little bit longer. And like I said, they do have restrooms at the stations. Um, my only advice is if you have kids, pay attention with the kids because whenever you pull into those stations, they're expecting you to get off. And there's really like when it first pulls in and that door opens, there's a fence there and probably a fence there. I mean, there's a little more room than what my hands are showing, but it does come up quick. And if your kids like to dilly dally and stuff, I would make sure you grab them and keep on moving because it does kind of it gets in there, it goes slow, but to get say 5 or 6 people going and your kids kind of playing around, you just want to make sure you get them off of there easily so they're not falling and getting hurt or anything like that. That would be my advice. You can pull your stroller right in there, keep your kids in the stroller. That way, pull them in and you just pull them right out, just like the monorails. And if you do need assistance, I know like the Caribbean Beach area, Pop Century I think has it, and Hollywood Studios, and then the Epcot area, they actually have an area for wheelchairs or ECVs. Maybe if you have a bigger, if you have a stroller or a couple strollers or something, you might want to get, take you a little longer to get on, talk with the cast member, and they can put you on in that area. Mike, if you want to post Jim More Sunshine's link, because we'll be heading over to Jim after this at 7:30. Mouse Talk does go on at 8 o'clock for Dissanity this evening. I'm not sure if anybody else is after Mouse Talk at 9:30, so you never know. Sometimes I like to do late night trivia if Dean or any of them aren't doing their shows. I may pop back on for late night trivia. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what's going to be interesting, Diane Bush, what's going to happen when they do have the thunderstorms and stuff like that. And yes, as long as they're within the sizes of the of what Mike's showing you there, that'll be perfect. So I would just roll them right on there, have a seat. Because I was on the gondola with one family. It was a family of 4. They had a stroller. We probably couldn't have fit any more people in there. I was by myself, so that's probably why they added me onto there. I didn't have a problem riding with them. It's fun talking to the kids. They were excited to be there and go on there for a ride because that's all they were doing that evening was taking a ride around on the different lines. So it was fun talking to the kids. Most of the time, if it wasn't overly busy, usually the Epcot line seems the busiest. I was on a gondola by myself most of the time, except sometimes with the Epcot line, I was on with other people. So, yes, that's good knowledge to know. So, well, I ended at number 13 in the questions. Okay, Ross, I think I've heard that also. So Yeah, it'll still be interesting to see what their threshold is. I'm guessing if it starts to lightning or they know lightning's coming to the area, it's going to get shut down. I don't know how that. Hopefully, they'll add some buses to the parks, to those resorts that they are kind of cutting back for Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So maybe they'll add an extra bus or two during that time if they have to shut down. But I know they get warnings if a thunderstorm or something's coming. So yeah, that that's gonna be the question, Diane, on how quickly they'll get some buses online there. I mean, they have a lot of buses. I don't know if that means they're gonna cut crews back because they're only gonna send a bus once an hour to Pop Century or to Art Animation, Riviera resorts and Caribbean resorts, or you know, could because I always see tons of buses. When you're standing there at the stop, there'll be a Magic Kingdom bus. You just load up, and next you know, another Magic Kingdom bus is coming by. So I don't know if they could take one of them and say, "Hey, we're getting a storm. We need to get these people from Epcot back to their resorts, or from Hollywood Studios back to their resorts." So that'll be interesting. It'll probably be rough at first for them to get some buses going, but once they know and get going, and it'll be interesting though to see, is it actually going to be an hour? Like a bus comes at 1 o'clock, they drive all the way over to Epcot, drop off their group, and that's going to be the same bus coming back and forth, or would they have one where it's every half hour? Like one bus is picking up at the resort and one's dropping off at Epcot or Hollywood Studios. Because Hollywood Studios really isn't that far from Pop Century and Art Animation, so that shouldn't take that long unless they get assigned somewhere else. Yeah, that's the one good thing. I I tend not to end up going back to the resorts during the day, unless it's like super hot, and then I may go back just to kind of cool off in the air conditioning and stuff. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Russ. That's what I'm wondering. They're not gonna leave you stranded. It may take a little longer for you to get a bus, and I think these days a lot of people aren't waiting for the buses. They're calling the lifts and the Ubers and minivans and stuff. Anyway, I know. The only complaint that I would have is what time you're going to start running that gondola system to Hollywood Studios on extra magic morning, because I know when I stayed, and I really can't go by that because they don't do that anymore, but they had those extra magic hours at Hollywood Studios, but they also had a bus available. Are you going to be able to take the gondola system at 6 a.m. to be over at Hollywood Studios at 7 a.m. for extra morning hours? Or are they going to delay that? And because I had walked by there that morning thinking, well, I could do the gondola, I'll get there pretty quick. Because at that point, they were letting people boarding passes as they opened the gates. Now it's right at opening, at whatever the official opening time is. But, and when I saw that wasn't going to open for another half hour and the boarding passes were already open, I ended up taking a lift from my resort just because I wanted to get over there as soon as possible. Plus, I also had 50% off on Lyft at that point, so that didn't. So one of the reasons why I ended up using the Lyft, it was 50% off, so it wasn't too bad of a price. Plus, I was only at Pop Century, and all they need to do is turn a couple turns, and you're right in the parking lot of Hollywood Studios. And I actually got dropped off pretty much close to where the security area was. So if you're wondering where Lyft drops off, it's kind of like to the side, right around where the Skyliner area, and sometimes you're even closer, depending on how far up you can go along the sidewalk there. Yeah, I don't think I would take the minivan to the airport unless I was with a bunch of people. So at that point, I would probably rent a car and drive it down to Cocoa Beach, or car rentals like close by the port area. Yes, I'm guessing that too, Diane, because there are people, I'm not going to fault them. I mean, if you're afraid of heights, that's not going to be a great place for you to want to be on. So you might want to just go elsewhere and stay elsewhere. So we'll see what happens whenever everything actually gets up and running, and the crowds are going to be there. People are waiting for the 50th anniversary. They're waiting that lifetime trip. I mean, they're going to have Tron open, Guardians of the Galaxy, Rewind, Ratatouille, Epcot should be up and running. I mean, then they'll start some new projects hopefully after that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go because I don't want to cut into Jim or more sunshine, please. Live stream. He does stream at 7:30. He's a great guy. He does great topics. So I do recommend that you jump on over to Jim and More Sunshine, please. I know the link is in the chat. I know that he just started his live stream. So I do thank everyone for joining. I will finish the list. I'm only on number 13. And I'll also come up with some trivia at some time also. So I do thank everyone. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and let the adventures begin, and have a great evening, everyone. And I'll see you over at Jim and More Sunshine, please, or Mouse Talk later. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you for joining, and I wish you all a great night. See you later. CATGB 143. Have a great night. Bye, everyone. And it was great to see all of you. Thank you, Russ, and I'll finish the rest at another time, so I'll let you know. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.